Good day and welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us today. This is indeed a very, very special session. Today's event is proudly organized by Frost and Sullivan, a transformational growth journey company that focuses on innovation and help clients on advisory and preparing themselves for the future. And we are doing this in collaboration with SAP, the enterprise technology giant empowering businesses globally. We are thrilled to unveil the MetaBrain and the next generation AI native decision intelligence platform redefining enterprise strategy and execution. But to begin, let me actually give everyone a quick overview of Frost and Sullivan, and we will then, of course, set the stage with a short video and then get into the panel discussion. So with that, Sneha, would you mind just sharing the first slide, please? All right, perfect. So just for everyone's benefit, Frost and Sullivan obviously has been in the business for over 6 decades. And what makes us very unique and what makes us one of the strongest companies in the world is the range of analytics that we cover. We cover over 4,500 different industries. We pretty much are present in every major continent. We cover over 120 countries in the world. And we have very unique models that we have developed over the last 6 decades that helps clients actually empower their decision making. And now with this MetaBrain, what we will see is their ability to execute on very complex things that are changing this world, that are transforming this world. So Frost and Sullivan is very uniquely positioned now with what we have done and AI to bring this all together through MetaBrain. And in terms of the impact that we deliver, I would say we help clients maximize their future growth potential. And more importantly, we ensure that they experience transformational growth because no matter what the issues are, the number one objective for every CEO, every organization is growth. And what we help clients is to deliver that transformational growth, leading to maximizing their future potential in an ever-changing world. Next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier, we cover about 4,500 different industries in these 12 industry segments. Sneha, can you look at the next slide, please? No, the one before this. Yes. So these are the 12 broad areas or industries that we cover. And actually, under each of these industry coverage areas, we have segments and subsegments, sectors and subsectors that we cover. If you look at the entire industry coverage that we have, I would say we cover about 4,500 of the global industry sectors and subsectors in the world. And I think what that does is gives us the broadest coverage and therefore the intelligence that people need. Because today, growth is not typically in the vertical markets. Growth is in areas of convergence. And having this broad knowledge of various industries, over 3,000 different technologies, over 100 new business models, you are able to look at opportunities in a very different perspective and of course make decisions in a very different way than can be done in the past or what is being done by anybody else. Next slide. And that's where actually MetaBrain comes in. Sneha, next slide, please. Yes. So that's where MetaBrain comes in. And this is what we like to call as an AI revolution in enterprise growth. And what this does is actually brings in the power of AI and human intelligence through reinforced learning. This platform is actually built in collaboration with SAP. It is available on SAP's BT system. And we will, of course, share a lot more with you today and in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead. So very excited that you are joining us today. And to just get started and to just briefly introduce the MetaBrain, which I call as I call as the next generation AI native decision intelligence platform, redefining enterprise strategy and execution. We'll have a quick look at a short video and then we'll get started with our panel.
Staying ahead requires smarter, faster decisions. How can organizations bridge the gap between human expertise and AI intelligence? Introducing MetaBrain, an AI-driven, human-centric decision platform. Powered by Frost & Sullivan's more than 60 years of expertise, SAP's business technology platform, also known as BTP, and reinforcement learning through human feedback, MetaBrain transforms decision-making. MetaBrain converts enterprise data and premium external insights into actionable intelligence, optimizing decision-making and business growth. Its predictive and prescriptive insights keep organizations ahead of industry trends. MetaBrain's conversational AI agents deliver real-time, personalized insights through search, chat, reporting, and collaboration. Reinforcement learning ensures continuously improved responses tailored to enterprise needs. MetaBrain evolves with AI-driven analysis and human feedback, refining insights for adaptive decision-making. A cyber-secured framework ensures compliance with global data security standards. For corporations, MetaBrain enhances profitability, risk mitigation, and competitive advantage. For governments, it drives efficient urban planning and policy making. The result, maximized ROI and reduced decision risks. MetaBrain is more than AI. It's a strategic intelligence revolution. Join corporations, governments, and technology partners in shaping the future of decision intelligence. Empowering smarter decisions, transforming the future.
I think now that you've seen what lies ahead, let's bring some expert perspectives. Our panel is of very distinguished individuals, and I'll introduce each one of them and, of course, have them share their perspectives. So let me first invite Sanjeev, who is the CEO of a company called Efficienz, which is headquartered here in the US, in the Boston area. So Sanjeev, welcome. Question for you is, how do you see AI becoming a mainstream transformation tool for enterprises to stay competitive in today's dynamic environment?
Yeah, thank you, Arup, and good morning, good afternoon, my panelists and audiences. Let me offer my perspective based on certain observations and fact base, right, that we have collected not only through our global interaction with our clients and voice of the field, but also through a very thriving partner ecosystem. So whether that is Frost itself or SAP, and probably hundreds of our partners. So what is happening that no matter where the discussion starts from, it always pivots towards the AI diffusion, right, in different industries, and how can they really put AI to drive what I call durable business advantages, right? They are not looking AI from just a technology perspective, but more to manage the business and operating model inflections. And where the world stands today, if you look at every business of every size and shape across the globe, they are facing tremendous pressure. And these pressures are coming from a number of factors externally and internally, whether those are geopolitical issues, whether those are, the macro events which is happening, or the sector, industry, or the company specific, whether those are, the enhanced customer centricity, the next generation of products and services, how do you really create the operational efficiencies? And AI is integral of all these decisions and discussions. What is also happening that over past 12 to 18 months, AI is no longer an experimental technology. It is not that a number of proof of concepts and proof of lives which is being executed within the company. It is becoming mainstream. Right? Obviously, the consensus is that it always started with the cost efficiency accelerator, right? That how do I really, provide the automations? How do I provide the digital workers productivity? How do I really look at the operational resiliencies and operational streamlining? But now it has really, really escalated towards the strategic decisioning. Right, so if you look at the AI, what is happening, AI is not a technology, it is the aggregation of past 100 years of technology. right? And the way the impact is felt across the industry, that is, it has become an engine of abundance, right? Whether those are your strategic abundance, whether those are economic abundance, operational abundance, or productivity abundance. And what I mean by that, and in my discussions with a number of, called global consulting firms and best of the breed technology firms, right? One of the terms which they are using more and more is, the abundance use cases. How do you really, de-risk the limitations of human capabilities and bring AI as, your subordinate to, run these businesses at scale? So that is, and there are a number of use cases. Obviously, if you look at MetaBrain, what is happening, that this is intelligence on demand, right? To really stand in front of the unique and differentiated offerings and to appeal with, your customer base, what is really required is the active intelligence. Can I really interpret the signals of the industry and, go on to courses of actions to translate those signals into the meaningful actions? So I think, probably later in the discussions, many panelists will talk about, a sudden event like tariffs, right? It is disrupting everyone, right? Every industry. Do I have the insights and foresights in the predictive manner to see the implications of these tariffs policies on my resilient supply chains, on my customer base, on my economic models? Right. So I think I will summarize with just one final statement that, AI is becoming mainstream in every industry, and it is providing you the required active intelligence to interpret the signals into meaningful actions. And those meaningful actions really provide you sustained durable advantage in whatever industry you are working. All right, so capability like MetaBrain is foundational, right? As I said, some of these terms will be trademarked under our company, what we are calling the, the intelligence on demand, right? We are no longer living in a world where you basically build things and then respond or interact with the people, including your organization, Frost and Sullivan, right? It's not that I will go and ask about the strategic imperatives and basically operational fabrics through which I can really, pivot my business model. We are living in a world which is sense and respond. Can I sense certain signals which appeared from nowhere, and can I respond in time? And this type of predictive intelligence, where you are democratizing, obviously 60, 70 years of institutional knowledge in a box, which is giving you enough foresight to take decisive action. So I'm very, very impressed that what we have done. We have aggregated the extreme capabilities of the technology, aggregated the partner ecosystem like SAP, best of the breed, right, on the BTP and Joule, different type of, the capabilities. And also we are bringing the data which is streaming in nature. We are not frozen in time, right? We are not basically taking the LLMs and models and computations, right? That's where not the differentiation is. Differentiation is the aggregation of all these capabilities through institutional knowledge and experienced wisdom of past 60, 70 years and democratizing that as a service for our customers. So let me stop here. Very, very impressive what we have done through MetaBrain, and I'm thankful to all the participants, panelists, and partners here.
Fantastic, Sanjeev. Thank you very much. I love this intelligence on demand. I think it's a fantastic term that I think you need to coin, because in the future, as we look into the future with so many things changing, so many things transforming, so many things collapsing, disrupting, I think having that intelligence on demand is very crucial. And I think that's what MetaBrain gives us, that capability. And I think one of the other points that I think, which basically I'm borrowing from what you said, is about that AI is no longer a good to have, it's a must have. And I think those organizations who do not adopt AI run the risk of being obsolete. So I think I completely agree with you, and hope that as we go into this discussion more and more, and as we work and deliver more value to our customers, this intelligence on demand will help them grow in a very, very complex world in which we all live. Sanjeev, thank you very much. If time permits, I'll get you back with another question, but let me continue with the next panel member, who is Oscar, joining us from Jakarta, Indonesia. He is the Chief Digital Officer of Nusantara. And for those who may or may not know, Nusantara is the new capital city in the country of Indonesia. and he's obviously involved in a lot of public sector and government work. So getting his perspective would be very interesting. So, Oscar, thank you for joining us. And the question I have for you is, how are governments using AI for citizen-centric initiatives, and what impact do you foresee in the future with a platform like MetaBrain?
Okay, thank you Aaron, for the question. Also, thank you so much for the Frost for invitation for me to join on this session. So, good night from Jakarta. So, about the question about how to use AI for the government or for the public sector, this is a very sexy topic. Because of what? Because in the government, we are focusing about the public sector that we have our customer is the citizen, right? So, this is the key. Whatever we want to talk about the AI, but we need to focus about the one aspect in the government. We need to understand what the needs of the customer. We need to understand what the needs of the citizen in our city. That's why, in our perspective, let's put I'm coming from the new capital, Nusantara new capital city, and this is the new capital that built in the modern era, that we use also several technology and many technology based on the modern technology and also using the AI for our technology in our city. Moving forward, that our technology that we built is not only we build the technology itself, but first we understanding what the needs of the citizen. So that's why we put the customer-centric city. That's why we also don't only building the conceptual, but we also have the product, that tangible product that citizen can touch, citizen can see. So this is the very tangible product, the output that can be the result of the AI itself. So the AI is not only the concept, but we built a very, very tangible product that citizen can use for daily purpose or many other purpose, also for the government services. So this is the key. Let's put the AI not at the key, but let's put the citizen needs is the key. So whenever the technology, the AI development is easy, right? But the important thing is about understanding what the customer needs. Moving forward, also, we also developed the app that currently used by the 150K users, just only 3 months. What's the factor of the app that can become very success only 3 months is about understanding the citizen needs. That's the key. So the key is not the technology, but the key is the understanding the customer needs, the citizen needs. And moving forward also, based on the customer needs, we also understanding that there are several AI technology that we can implement. Currently we have also implemented Gen AI right now in our city to answering all the questions from the citizen, also responding many citizen feedback from the city. So that's the Gen AI that we currently use for our city. And also about the technology on the AI, we also used for the safety and security, of course. We use on the several algorithm AI technology to make sure we have the high-level standard of the safety in the city. And also about the AI, we also using the AI for the cybersecurity also. There are several technology that we put to detect the anomaly and also detect many other problems for the cybersecurity. So that's some of the use case that we use for the AI. And hearing about the MetaBrain, this is also the very, very new technology that is relevant with our needs, because we also understand that the AI is not only for the product itself, but also important for the policy development, right? So on the policy development side, on the architecture, technology architecture, and also for many other purposes related to the intelligence and many other purpose, this is the role of the AI. So that's why this platform, I'm here in the platform, very important, because this not only one-time use, but also can be used for the daily purpose. So I totally agree about the on-demand intelligence. This is very relevant, because we don't know what kind of the problem that we are facing every day, right? We don't know what kind of the new challenge. For example, the COVID. We never planning to have the COVID right in the 2019. And then we need to develop the technology that we never thinking about that disease. So these tools will be very, very important for the future problem like COVID, for example. We can have immediate action, immediate response, learning from the data, learning from the algorithm on the AI, so we can have more fast and also more accurate response for the citizen, especially for the city. So that's the key that I want to explain. So let's put the AI is on the technology side, but the things is about understanding the needs of the citizen, and also the platform is very important for the city, because this platform on demand service for the intelligence is not only developing one-time recommendation, but can be also helpful for support on the many case, many challenge situation that we are facing for the development and also operation on the city. So yeah, looking forward for the topic on the discussion or question from the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. And I totally agree with you. In today's day and age, so many things are transforming at a very rapid pace, and it's very important for governments also to actually prepare for what is changing, right? And when you do that, then of course you improve the outcomes and you build trust with the main customer, which happens to be the citizen of that country. So very excited to see that a country like Indonesia is leveraging this technology, building infrastructure to support the ever-changing demands of the global economy. So thank you very much, Oscar. Again, if I have time, I'll come back to you. But let me move on from government to enterprise. So I'm going to invite Varun Thamba, who is the SAP partner lead, who's also joined us today from Singapore. So Varun, a question for you, and that is, what is SAP's vision for AI-driven decision making, and how do you see business data, cloud, Joule empower this journey alongside with MetaBrain? You are in deep into it, so your perspective for enterprise would be very, very interesting. Varun, over to you.
No, thank you so much, Arup, for the question and the great insights from the fellow panelists already. Yes, I think we are at a very pivotal moment when it comes to AI, because until last year, when I met enterprises and SAP, we run, almost all the Fortune 500 companies run SAP. 80% of the world's commerce touches an SAP system. So obviously, large enterprises are always looking to say, what can I do with AI? But if you look at the common theme that I saw across CIOs and CDOs in 2024 was to say, how can I play around with this technology called AI and try and see where it can sort of deliver some sort of use cases. But 2025, if you see, is not more about experimenting with use cases, but really about unlocking the value. Where is the money? Yeah. So it's become very outcome focused compared to last year, and I think that's a fundamental shift from, okay, it's the fun is over now. It's about the business with AI, and I think it's good that AI is hitting that maturity curve, very early, because even for us as SAP, I think our focus is primarily on how to make business processes and business decisions much faster. And if you look at the AI strategy from SAP standpoint, it's broadly broken into two pillars. The first pillar is obviously some of the embedded out of the box AI capabilities that we provide. So for example, how do we reconcile finances faster? How can we help identify the best suppliers? How do I identify the best succession planning, or the most optimized transportation plan? Across our modules, we have some out of the box embedded use cases which work across industries, right? It's more like a commodity AI that we are shipping out of the box, and there is a lot of uptake. But what also happens is, this AI can be powerful only if it is also tailored, with some very specific industry expertise. When we have to bring it to an industry or a local market context, and that is where I'm super excited about what we are sort of driving through the MetaBrain, where we're bringing in Frost and Sullivan's experience, and that core expertise of market sentiment and market history with traditional data, like historical procurement, historical finance, which typically sits in an SAP, and then holistically build a tailored AI as an extension to the out of the box AI that's sort of there in SAP, right? So it really becomes a unique differentiation for a customer who's, let's say, running their platform on SAP to get this sort of a pre-packaged industry-specific turbocharged solution called MetaBrain, which really helps them to unlock the value in the industry, aid in decision making, and also, as you rightly pointed out, handle some of the unforeseen circumstances, that we are, seeing in the market today, right? And I think when you see the experts talk about it a little further, you will see how we are able to model very quickly some of these disruptions in the market, and very quickly able to look at historic data, external data, and the weightage from the external event to provide a very tailored, laser focused sort of input for a decision maker, which I think is priceless in this day and age. And that's where I'm super excited about the value that we are able to unlock, and then potentially hit a lot of top line and bottom line savings for customers around the world. So super excited about this.
Thank you very much. No, I think this perspective, and because you, like you said, you represent almost 80% of global enterprises. So this perspective is very important. And I think what I can see that, with SAP, Frost and Sullivan, Efficiency, and the MetaBrain, I believe will empower enterprises to make faster, safer, and more foresighted decision making. And that decision intelligence on demand, I think, plays a very important role for companies and enterprises worldwide. So just like you, I'm super excited about the possibilities. And I think what we are seeing is just the beginning. I think AI has become pretty much now part of most enterprises, and it's no longer an experiment. It's more about where can we see impact on the future, as well as, of course, on productivity, proficiency, and other related elements. So Varun, thank you very much for that perspective. So we've got the government perspective, we've got the enterprise perspective, but let's get everything together. And the person who actually put the foundation for this is my colleague, also from Singapore, Subhranshu Shekhar Das. So Subhranshu, you are, I consider, the chief architect of this MetaBrain. So let me ask you this question about, more than question, it's about you sharing with us a little bit about the use case. Tell us a little bit about how this thing all came about, including the global tariff. And of course, if you can give us a demo, that would be fantastic. So with that said, let me actually move on to Subhranshu, and I'm going to hand it over to you, Subhranshu, to take this discussion forward. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Arup. Thank you, everyone. It's good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And I will, before I go to give you a demonstration of the cockpit, I'd love to say, let's go to the next slide, Sneha, and where we little talk about how we have composed the MetaBrain into platform, playbook, and program. The below MetaBrain, which you see on the screen, it is all about that platform, user-friendly platform where we connect, we communicate, we ideate our prompt, we collaborate with our own employees, we co-create the intelligence. So this is all about the platform. But the playbook is on the left, which Arup talked about. What is that pre-trained industry analytics, which Frost and Sullivan's 6 decades of history, we built industry, sub-industry, and industry imperatives. Industry imperatives are very important. As you go industry to sub-industry and industry imperatives, the complexity comes in. That is the nuances of the industry. That's pre-trained. We worked on the oncologies, reasoning, and agents. It is not an AI engine. It is where AI hits the understanding of industry oncology, industry reasoning, and the agents kicks off. And the go as you write, that's called program. Program means we work with the client, end users. That's where we are talking about action twin. That means it's a private sandbox where end users could bring their intelligence and plug it together. It's a reinforcement learning, but not headless. it is the professional reinforcement learning. It is live analyst. It is agent-to-agent protocols. So the entire platform, playbook, and program stands inside the MetaBrain, which is a placeholder in SAP BTP platform. So in peace of mind, in the firewall, you could play around, extract the external informations, extract internal informations, and smash it together. We'll go to the next slides now. Just before I go to the cockpit, the challenge we are solving today, the new administration taken over United States of America, the tariffs are changing. Companies are absolutely in shock what to do. What is the new supplier strategies we have? What are the sourcing plans we need to have? That's the challenge. Is there anything exists today? At least 30 to 40%, 50%, 60% of ideas, how I could plan it. The strategic imperative is industries automotive, sub-industries manufacturing, auto manufacturing, and sub-industries on industry imperatives are sourcing strategies. So that's what, whoever is more agile is, that is where the competitiveness comes in. Let's go to the next one. Just to give you a context, this is not an AI engine. This is maneuvered by human being. This is reinforced by human learnings. This is the understanding what we have over the years in industry, sub-industry, and industry imperatives. So that is very important to know that our understanding of the industry that makes us difference. Go to the next slide, please. This is the people on this industry like automotive manufacturing. They are behind the scene driving this. They are the storyteller. They are the analyst on the live. They are the reinforcing agent behind the scene. We'll go to the demonstrations now. This is where the use case is all about. We'll go through in details in the demonstrations, the large questions you are solving, how the dynamic tariff impact happening, and what would be my global sourcing decisions. So the entire bigger challenge has to be cut into 4 different areas. Extracting information from SAP BTP's platforms with HANA 4 and a variety of other sources. External information from Frost and Sullivan with the reasoning layer. MetaBrain could able to give prescriptive and predictive insights. I'll go to the cockpit now, and you will hear it end to end, and you will see live how dynamic tariff impact and global sourcing decisions is happening here. Yeah, next slide. Bit before I getting into there, important part to understand here about the oncology of the industry to be drafted, the agents which is created to solve one by one, the reasoning of these industries, that is who are making this more powerful. Yeah, next one.
Welcome to MetaBrain, the decision intelligence platform designed to empower your enterprise with thinking that's intelligent, contextual, and action-oriented. Built to assist, reason, prescribe, and enable decisions like never before. The journey begins the moment you sign in. MetaBrain instantly recognizes who you are, your industry, your role, your strategic priorities. Whether you're a CPO focused on cost optimization or a strategy head exploring new markets, MetaBrain tailors everything to your unique context. Every insight, every recommendation, every model is shaped by your business reality. Welcome to Ideation Studio, your thinking co-pilot. Here, you don't just ask questions, you design your intent. MetaBrain helps you frame a structured, smart prompt with clarity of objective and precision aligned to your industry language. It's intelligent prompt engineering, simplified. Plus is your gateway to premium intelligence, integrating Frost and Sullivan, verified research, regulatory alerts, and vast industry data lakes. You get curated, authentic inputs to shape stronger decisions, all in one place. Play brings everything together, integrating insights from Plus with your internal enterprise data. In a world of shifting tariffs and supply chain shocks, enterprises need more than reactive decisions. They need MetaBrain, built with SAP and Frost and Sullivan, a partner that transforms disruption into smart, executable action. Stage A, understand the tariff shock. A US tariff suddenly hits a key component in your model ABC. MetaBrain fuses SAP BTP data with live tariff feeds to flag cost spikes and impacted regions instantly. Stage B, suggest cost-saving alternatives. It hunts for savings, analyzing contracts, pricing history, and global risk. Then suggests alternative suppliers, ranked by cost, reliability, and geopolitical stability. Stage C, assess feasibility. MetaBrain checks PO history, lead times, and supplier risks, political, regulatory, and more. Only viable options make the cut. Stage D, take action with confidence with suppliers shortlisted. MetaBrain triggers a ready-to-execute PO using SAP workflows. At this stage, the Action Twin is activated, a secure space where clients can input confidential supplier ratings. Let's see this intelligence in action with a live enterprise use case. It seamlessly works across sales, procurement, finance, compliance, using your actual data structure and naming conventions. This is where intelligence meets enterprise reality, turning context into control. With your prompt ready, MetaBrain activates purpose-built reasoning models for your domain. It triggers agents based on the data available, analyzing, simulating, and prescribing the best possible actions. Now on the left, let's explore your operational command center. Action Twin, a private sandbox, secured inside your firewall. Here, you can add confidential inputs like supplier risk scores or strategic forecasts, securely integrated and visible only to the C-suite. Give it a name. Add instructions. Drop in your website URL. Then simply drag and drop to generate powerful results. Talk to the analyst. When human expertise matters, connect directly with a domain expert to validate or challenge insights. Upload your documents or don't. Either way, you get live, intelligent support right when you need it. And every conversation? It's automatically tracked. Saved reports. With our dynamic reporting, you can review every chat, insight, and decision, all saved, searchable, and ready to share. Export every insight in a presentation-ready format, ideal for sharing or archiving. Projects. You can create a project, give it a name, and likely organize all their agents, conversations, reports, and analytics within it. That ties everything together nicely. Collaborate with teams, assign prompts, track tasks, and build solutions together in real time. MetaBrain is not just AI. It's a thinking wizard. It aligns your intent, maps the right data, triggers intelligent agents, and prescribes decisions, fast, clear, and contextual. From prompt to impact, MetaBrain helps enterprises move with confidence. This is MetaBrain, enabling agent-driven, industry-aligned, context-aware decision intelligence. Welcome to a new era of enterprise thinking.
This is not AI engine. This is enterprise intelligence reimagined. Any complex challenges could be solved, understanding the industry oncology, identifying the agents, those who could work, drive this entire task through the right reasoning. So this is a revolutionary technologies put together in program, playbook through a platform. We'll go to the next slide, Sneha. This is where the key performance matters. Every enterprise wants to take it, but there has to be a KPIs. Prediction accuracy, that's very important. How my prompt is, what is the accuracy level? So that's important. User engagement is very, very important. I cannot prepare a presentation for the board meetings. I need to collaborate with everyone. I need to share my inputs in a closed firewalls or a sandbox. I need to make sure that I'm also protected. Response time. Look at what tariffs have changed. Nothing is there going to help us. How this engine could, how this thinking wizard could help us in response time. Risk mitigation. That's where we talked about prescriptivity and predictivity. Scalability, if we are solving today one use cases, we could solve 10 use cases. But that factory model is important. That's where I kept on saying it is the industry, sub-industry, industry imperatives, oncology, agents, and reasoning. Thank you so much, Arup. I'll hand over to you.
Thank you, Subhranshu. So, Subhranshu, from my perspective, it is very clear that the MetaBrain is evaluating multiple scenarios. It's giving you prescriptive solutions in a few hours rather than weeks and months, which is what typically human beings take. And I think I can also see a lot of precision, speed, foresight, and that's what will hopefully keep companies agile and more competitive in this transforming world, the volatile world in which we are living. So fantastic, very excited to see how MetaBrain has evolved and it's developing, and how enterprises and governments worldwide will be leveraging this for the future. But at the end of the day, as we know, investments, money is a very important part. We have to invest in it. We have to extract value out of it. And getting an investor's perspective is always very important, right? We all get excited about technology. So I'm going to request my friend from Singapore, Ashok, who is the CEO of N Venture, to give us a investor perspective. So Ashok, thank you for joining us today. So from your perspective, Ashok, as an investor, how do you see these opportunities like MetaBrain, and what are some of the key priorities for enterprise AI investments?
Thanks for having me here, Arup. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm coming from Singapore, and Venture is based out of Singapore, but we focus in Asia, into B2B SaaS, investments. So what we see is, as everybody has said, that AI is in a very short period of time, like less than 2 years, becoming natural to everyone. Right? It's no more like a research and development. It's coming into play where you can create the content, you can create your strategy, you can create the product in a very short time. And if you look at any startup, what they really lack is time, cash flow, and sometimes the resources, right? So if I can help him in terms of, improving his time to check the product, whether it's a market fit or not, whether the strategy is in particular industry is aligned to the right goals, or the cost, right? In terms of creating that MVP or a product, if I can do it in the 1/10 of the cost, that can increase my runway, right? As an investor, I always look at the strong founders. That's the first thing. The second thing is the product. And third thing is the product market fit and the scale. Whether this product can be scalable in one country, regional, or a worldwide, right? Today, we see the startups coming from all over the world, whether it's India, whether it's Silicon Valley or Jakarta, right? So it's no more limited to a one place. That's why I see this, technology like AI and the technology like MetaBrain can help us in terms of shortening the time, helping the doing the right research in terms of doing their strategy, so that they can reach to their customers directly and more focused way, right? And help them in terms of doing the things faster, right? So as an investor, I look at, if I invest $1, how fast I can make this as a $5 or $10, and then return it to my investors, right? So that's the journey we are in, and we always look for the ways the startups founders are taking today. So the companies which we have invested, they all are B2B. We see that B2B cycles are usually pretty long, like 6 to 9 months, and it kills some of the startups because they don't have that much money to hold, basically. So this kind of a solution basically can give them enough research about the particular industry, particular area, and then they can create the product using the AI technologies, so that they can return the money faster to us. And of course, they grow their wealth as well in this journey. So yeah, AI is a very, very important piece. And I see that, whenever we do, review the pitches, first question is nowadays is, okay, how you're using the Gen AI into your product, into your market research, into your market outreach, and all of that. So that has become de facto, basically.
So clearly, if a company comes to you and doesn't talk about AI, there is a very remote chance you will consider them or invest in them.
Yeah,
No, I think as you
absolutely.
heard from other panel members as well, I think AI is now core to every business. There are multiple use cases. What people need is this continuous intelligence. People need to be able to handle and survive in this complex, thrive in this complex universe that we live in. So yes, I think AI will play a very important role, though it's not just AI. Like we said with MetaBrain, there is so much
Yep.
that gets added to it, thereby making it a intelligence platform, which as we heard earlier, if it is on demand, that makes it even more powerful. Fantastic. Thank you, Ashok, for your perspective, because like I said, at
Not a
the end
problem.
of the day, an investor's perspective is very important because they see through it and say, is there something unique here? Is there something special here? Is it scalable, right? And I think when you see
Yep.
that, then obviously the investment opportunity is always a good one. So thank you very much for that perspective. Let me move on from there to a manufacturing perspective. We have one of our panel members, which is Manjunath from Systema. It's a company based in Germany. He's joining us from Dresden, Germany. And Manjunath, thank you for joining. My question to you, you heard everybody speak about AI, we talked about MetaBrain, we talked about government, we talked about enterprise. So Manjunath, as a manufacturing company in Germany, how do you see MetaBrain supporting manufacturing companies in decision making, especially related to sourcing and planning, given what is happening in today's environment? Manjunath, over to you.
Thanks, Arup. I also thank all the fellow panelists over here. They provide a very good insights into AI and the other aspects of it. We Systema are a global company based out in Germany, having offices across the globe. We predominantly have business consultants who basically work on enabling manufacturing customers. With that, what I would like to bring here to the table is how do we do what is called as the supply chain orchestration, which is probably a coined word where we could, in this new era of enterprise management, the shift is more towards how can we reimagine our technology in a way that the business processes and the data that we have are somehow seamlessly integrated to enable latest innovation. So at the start, at the core, most of the manufacturers have their own set of applications, which basically link to their entire supply chain process together with the rest of their company. So to close any gaps and to slow down and create or reduce unnecessary risks, it is important that we kind of integrate all these existing applications that are there. The next important thing that basically comes from these applications is data. The data is basically integrated, real-time operational, sustainability, and the business data. The data that makes sure that every supply chain decision is guided by accurate, in-the-moment insights. And when you combine these two pillars of what I say is the applications and data, you end up with the third pillar, which is the artificial intelligence, which we have so many people talking around here with the MetaBrain things coming in. This basically eats into this data that is provided by the system and brings in the efficiency that we always ask for, maybe a tariff change, or a disruption in the logistics, or maybe a COVID like kind of a situation, any kind of disruptions that happen in the industry. When you can combine these two things with a highly available AI systems that can consume this data and can provide what I would say is scenario or simulation based decision models based on some predefined knowledge that has been built into the systems, will really help most of the manufacturing customers. So the key here is basically to get this data from the existing applications and kind of find meaningful business insights that you could get from this data. SAP also has got a lot of AI already in SAP manufacturing space, if you call it. It's called SAP Joule, which also has got some of these capabilities that we talked through. It has got some very beautiful, what I would say is inspection modules for, for quality. It also talks about issue resolution, which basically combines the whole process of, finding the errors and how do we take steps to recover them. It also has got what is called as Ask Joel or conversational help, which basically helps the operator, kind of help them, in their day-to-day tasks and activities. And it also gives you some kind of operational dashboards. But what is really a game changer, which MetaBrain basically brings, is it can combine the operational data fed in by these systems, enabling them to kind of bring in the oncology, which Subhranshu just spoke about, the industry-specific data that we have, which we get from our deep discussions that we have with various customers, and help the customers basically move from what I say as hand to mouth, or firefighting mouth, to making a strategic thinking based on scenario on the scorecards. And that's where I really see is the real game changer that can happen. And that's where I see the most of the money that we that will start coming in. Just like we also have the investment, the advisor that we also had here from Ashok, that telling that they are looking at such kind of things. These are the real game changers, which can probably shift the companies to more autonomous mode, which helps in reducing the time, the throughput, and getting things faster to the market.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, and I think. Like you mentioned, and getting your perspective from a use case, from a manufacturing standpoint, and as we know, 25% of the global economy is represented by the manufacturing sector. I think it's very, very interesting. I know we are running a bit short on time, so what I'm going to do is from our side bring this to a close. So I want to first thank all our distinguished speakers, panel members who took the time to come and share their perspectives. So thank you very much, everyone. But I think what's important, just to summarize, what we saw today was a true convergence of AI, enterprise reasoning, trusted data, as you mentioned, real-world industry application through MetaBrain. And as Subhranshu also rightly reinforced this point, MetaBrain is not just technology, as I can also understand now. It's the foundation for the next generation of intelligent enterprises. And so with that, I'd like to welcome all of you to join the MetaBrain Innovation Lab and co-create the future of decision strategic making. And with that, I'd like to thank once again all our participants, online, offline.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.